feel like that was like the magic word is that you said like how we relate to other people. I mean, for me, I feel like that's where I've started is both like how does my character relate to all of the other people that she's worked with in the show? How have those relationships changed, whether that's to people or to the experience of working at NASA? But I don't know, I feel like that was like the buzzword for me every season was like how these relationships changed.
Yeah.
And how the environments changed. And every time I feel like you can keep it in relationship to the writing and to those questions.
Yeah.
Everything just, I think as you work and we start a season, everything just blossoms in this really cool, exciting way, especially when you get to be on set with everyone else in these worlds that they've created, like walking into Mission Control every year, or into NASA every year, I'm just like, stop. Stop, this is so good.
No, I think that's the unique thing about the show is that,
people really change. And so kind of, as much as I believe what Joel says as well, because if I think back, when I was 23, I thought I knew the whole world, and I knew total shit. But but if I look, there's still core values in people and ways of being. And so Ben and I had this conversation of like, how much do we actually change and how much do we think that we change? And kind of playing with that each season is so interesting, especially for Karen, because of course on the outside it seems like she's changed so much, but sometimes I think she's just evolving more into who she's always been and being her more authentic self that she denied. So I think it's interesting the way that kind of we all look at our evolution or progression on the show. It probably speaks to how we feel about ourselves, but but yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it's just like a surprise party, right? Just open the box, and I'm like, what's going to be in this box? Like at the end of season 1, we see that Danielle has returned from the moon, and she's totally dedicated to her husband, who is on the fritz, and this huge sacrifice that she's made to both look after Gordo, but also to come home to a partner who she knows needs her. The next lineage, the natural progression in my mind was, okay, well, season 2, Danielle and Clayton will have children, or whatever the next logical thing is. And then these guys hit me with the old, he's dead, and I'm like, he did what? And so there's only, it's funny hearing what you're saying, Shantel, because we all, just as different as we are as people, we're all different as actors, and we all enter it, in different ways. And so
yeah, but I'm right, though.
Yeah. Of course you are, honey, of course.
But for me, there is not a ton of prep I can do because I don't know what I'm getting into until these guys hit me with that PDF and I open her up and I'm like, okay. So that's, you have to, for me, I have to remain loose and just remain open to what I'm going to receive from you guys. And also like what Wrenn was saying, at the end of the day, thank goodness we've got each other. So no matter what, it's like, I got these folks to hold on to, so we'll be fine,
So I want to talk about the old age makeup.
We're wearing it right now, you can.
Think they have the best old age getup.
I have also old age and also blind contact lenses. Yes. So that's a whole nother level of, in some ways it's great because you can't see how dreadful you look. It's really great. And the clouded lenses were really added. I asked to make them as opaque as possible so that I really was very close to blind on set and genuinely bumping into furniture. So there wasn't a lot of acting required, which was great. But I will say that added a whole other level to the aging thing, was to actually see your eyes clouded over. It lent a little extra to the whole thing. I also felt like Molly looks really fucking old.
Still super hot.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Joel, do you remember in season 1 when we hadn't even acted on set yet and we had to take like a family Christmas photo and you were wearing this Mr. Rogers sweater set and I called you a sexy grandpa?
Sexy grandpa.
And then my dream came true in season 3 and you really were a sexy grandpa.
I don't know how sexy I was, but definitely grandpa.
No, it's funny in our show that like most shows on TV and movies, they're trying to make their cast look younger and more beautiful. I think we're the only show that we're like, no, they're too beautiful. We have these wrinkles, we gotta change this up, gray hair. So yeah, it is a struggle every season to really capture that. I think our guiding light there is not necessarily for them to always capture the exact age they are, to make sure that you notice the change, that it's a subtle enough change. Because I think aging makeup, when you go too far, it's not great. But when you take it a little far enough, then I think it gives you enough of the audience to believe that they've taken that journey and those years have passed. And I think to our cast's credit, they've mostly embraced it, I would say. I won't name names.
But I think we've all aged.
No names.
I was going to say, I think we've all aged so much during this process that we just used ourselves as guides.
I've aged a lot during this show. I have to say, I did not have.
Yeah, I was telling Ben, like, dude, you don't need to like put that on just for us to feel good, Like, we don't need sympathy makeup, It's like, oh, you actually aged that much over these 2 years?
Wrenn is incredible, and she'll know the name of our team of people because we.
If you like cartoons, movies, books, music, I demand you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. Be prepared for doom. Subscribe or be prepared for doom. Do not resist. Do not resist. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe.